When I left my 9-to-5 job, I wasn't thinking much past our bank account. I was burnt out, tired, stressed, and sick of feeling the pressure of putting my best foot forward when my heart just really wasn't in it. Since quitting my 9-to-5 job, I have come to realize there's some things I did right and some things I did very, very wrong. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through the top regrets I had in my process to leave my 9-to-5 job. But if you watched my last video about the most life-changing perspectives that you can make in life, you would know that I don't actually view these as regrets. If you want to be in the know, check the link in the description to watch that video after this one. If you have not already heard, today is launch day for the Aligned Exit Academy, which is a 4-week live group program for anyone feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, and unaligned in their current job or career path. The topics in this video are very fitting for a launch day because AEA includes the things I did right in the process of leaving my job and the things I did wrong that I wish I had done before I left. My hope for the program is that anyone who goes through it will have the knowledge and the opportunity to work through the important factors that I missed before I left my 9-to-5 job before they take the leap. Stay tuned till the end of the video to get all of the nitty-gritty details about AEA. I will also have a timestamp linked in the description if you want to just jump right to that. So I like to break down the journey of quitting my 9-to-5 job into 3 distinct parts. First is the affirmation process. This is where you're in that deliberation period, you're debating whether or not you should leave your job, and most of your thoughts are in the emotional part of your brain. Next is the exit process. This is where your brain starts transitioning into all things logical, trying to map out the journey, and wondering how your financial situation is going to be affected by your decision to leave or transition into something different. And lastly is the healing process. This is where you have finally made a decision to quit your job. Whether or not you've put in your notice is irrelevant. It's really about your mindset and the fact that you've decided you are leaving the job. At this point, you've passed all of the initial questioning and you're really in a state of trying to heal from living your life out of alignment for a long period of time. Whether this comes out as burnout, stress, or even physical and mental health issues, it really all depends on the person and their unique situation. But this is where your body starts to try to realign and reconnect to actually begin to heal from the situation you were in, whether or not you actually make a plan for it or not. Let's start with the affirmation process, starting with the things that I did right. I identified my bottlenecks and limiting beliefs around the idea of quitting my 9-to-5 job. And what I mean by this is I got extremely comfortable with my fears and what I believed was going to basically screw me over in the future if I decided to leave my job, and I figured out how to get through those blocks. And here is what I did wrong. I didn't spend any time trying to understand how my past brought me to this specific situation in the present and how my past was actually affecting my decision making right now. I didn't take any time to actually figure out what I truly value in my life, and spoiler alert, it is not what I thought I valued. Our values change over time and we need to take time to reassess what those look like. I was living my life very much out of alignment with my true self. And lastly, I did not create what I now call an authentic affirmation to keep me out of the realm of self-doubt and fear while I was in that 2-week holding period after I put in my notice. Well, for me, it was 3 weeks, and after quitting. Without this affirmation, I found it really easy to ride the wave straight into self-doubt and have a lot of trouble actually trusting my decisions and believing that I made the right choice. Next, we're going to talk about the exit process. So to start off, here is what I did right. And honestly, I think this category is going to be where most of you find things that you were already trying to do or things that you most likely did right if you've already left your job. So first, I created a financial transition plan. I sat down, I looked at where our finances were, I looked at where they would be after I left my job, and I planned out how I was going to make money in the short term as well as the long term and how we could actually change our situation to lower our expenses, all things like that. Next, I pre-verified my ideal aligned career path. Now, a lot of you might be in a place where the job you're in is not aligned with what you actually want, and there's a potential other path that you see that might be the right fit for you, but you're not sure if it is. This is where trial and error is extremely important, and if you have the ability to do that while you're still in the security of your current job, that is when you should do it. The last thing I did right is I left my job without burning any bridges. I actually left my job having conversations with people about coming back in the future or working part-time or transitioning to a different office in a different state if I decided to come back. Basically, everyone was totally open to the idea of me changing my mind in the future and starting up a conversation about what that might look like later on in my life. The point here is I did have a fallback option to revert back to my old life, although I really do not see myself doing that because it felt so unaligned, but the option was there, and having that safety net under me, whether or not I actually ever use it, was a nice feeling to have. Besides the fact of having a safety net, it's important to keep those connections with people that you had because you might need them for a reference depending on what the transition looks like for you into your other career path. And here's the one thing I did wrong in the exit process. I did not decide on an actual exit timeline. Basically, I waited and waited until I finally just lost it and randomly put my 3 weeks notice in on a Friday afternoon. I did not premeditate that resignation. I just literally couldn't take it one more day and I put my notice in. So lastly, we're going to talk about the healing process. Here are the things that I did right. I spent time rediscovering my inner child and how the effects of my childhood and my adulthood had pushed down my creativity, my curiosity, and my pursuit of fulfillment in my life. I developed a habit and a routine of actually listening to myself and creating space for myself. I identified the root causes of my symptoms of burnout and stress that I had from my job, and I created a blueprint to banish that burnout from my life going forward. And here is what I did wrong. Although the actual actions that I did were all right, the one regret I have with this category is that I did all of these things after I quit my job, after my last day of work. Basically, I didn't work through any of this beforehand. And why this matters is it actually set me back over a month on my timeline. When I created that financial exit plan, I allowed myself 3 months to spend time pursuing what I viewed as my alternate aligned career path. But that first month in those 3 months was spent figuring out why I was so burnt out, understanding my symptoms, and trying to actually heal and create a plan to get to a better state. So if I had actually figured this out before I left my job, I would have saved a whole month of time and of financial resources where I could actually spend the time to work towards what I saw in my future instead of laying around sleeping all day and literally just going through a huge range of emotions and physical symptoms of burnout. If you are looking for support in your journey to leave your job and pursue a path that's more aligned with who you are, then you would be a great fit for Aligned Exit Academy. AEA is a 4-week program that includes 12 video lessons with corresponding worksheets to help you apply what you learned in the lesson. On top of that, there will be weekly live group calls where we will have time to discuss the key takeaways from that week's lessons and have room for Q&A and discussion. If you are interested, make sure to follow the link below in my description as well as in my pinned comment in the comments section to sign up at the early bird price. This discounted rate will only be available through Friday, November 5th, so you have 4 days to make a decision and get it at 20% off. If you have any questions at all about AEA, feel free to email me at paigewest.co@gmail.com or DM me over on Instagram at paigewest.co. All of my contact info is in my description, so feel free to reach out to me in whatever way works best for you. And as a huge thank you to anyone who signs up for this special VIP group of AEA, you will be granted lifetime access to the program, which includes all future updates that happen throughout the program's lifetime, as well as a discounted price for Voxer voice memo coaching and one-on-one coaching sessions with me. I am so excited for the opportunity to support you in this journey. I would love all of your feedback, but other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.